Glad to have you join us on this edition of the show. COVID-19 has no doubt disrupted the world in unimaginable ways, but many experts have argued that it also presents an opportunity for developing economies like ours to retool and re-strategize for the future. My guest on the show understands how to leverage technology to drive change and shares his thoughts on the way forward. There is indeed a lot lined up for you, but first, some tech news and updates. This is Tech Trends, and I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.
The human condition today is better than it's ever been, and technology is one of the reasons for that. Meet Akwa Ikobi, a computer programmer, ordinary media developer, developer advocate, and a keynote speaker. But what's more interesting about Akwa Ikobi is that he's only 14 years old.
So I have a big YouTube video downloader. I have a quadratic equation to created with JavaScript, CSS.
Akwa Ikobi, who is mostly self-taught, started his journey into the tech world at the age of 5 when he got his first laptop. With the help of his dad, he started coding at 11 years. His first application was a scientific calculator. So far, he's worked on over 20 applications.
I started tech with gaming, then I started with Visual Basic as at 11 years old. Then I moved into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then, yeah, I think learning is a gradual process before you start working on projects. So I specialize on different technologies like JavaScript, AI, PHP, Python, and deep learning, data science, and every field in tech. I love tech a lot, and yeah, I'm a cloud-ordinary media developer.
While a lot of people might consider the COVID-19 pandemic as a setback, for Akwa Ikobi, it's an added advantage.
I've been learning a lot. For example, I've taken course on AI, data science, ML, different technologies also. I moved into Android development, I moved into AI fully. Then also I'm working on my project. My project is the main thing I've been working on in this COVID-19 era.
Since he was 10, Akwa Ikobi has always loved multinational technology company IBM and aspired to be an IBMer. He started using the technologies at the same age, hoping that one day his aspirations will become a reality. Well, that came true. In 2019, the teenager was nominated to be a 2020 IBM Champion for Developers. In January this year, he was selected with 603 others, and with that, he's made some plans.
My main plan for COVID-19 is to work with IBM, collaborate with IBM on different technologies like IBM Watson, work with top developers, have my main time for tech and start with my own company. Then also travel to speak at tech conferences also.
The young chap has also had his fair share of challenges, but he's not relenting when it comes to what he loves.
I've been facing challenges like this internet connection we have and these power problems. Power problem is the main challenge I have, yes. So I got rejections because I'm too young. I hope I'm going to face that when I'm 18 or when I'm above 18.
Akwa Ikobi is a developer who contributes to open source projects and is passionate about what he does. He runs a YouTube channel, Akwa Ikobi's Thoughts, where he makes coding tutorials and gives tech talks. He says he's currently working on a secret project which will release in September.
In March this year, all schools in the country were shut as part of measures to curb the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. Many students, teachers, and even parents were left with no choice but to opt for virtual learning. Sadly, not all have such privilege, causing them to pause their education indefinitely. But Julius Ilori, with some of his colleagues, have risen up to this challenge by developing this continuous learning platform, a web application that provides free educational materials to secondary school students, enabling them to study on their own at home.
The continuous learning web app we created was initiated as a response to the COVID-19 school lockdown that started in late March, and we came up with this initiative to complement the effort of the government to see how we can create a solution that can help people to keep accessing educational materials while they are still at home. So since we started this initiative, we have been able to reach over 1,000 young people in different parts of Nigeria, and also we have also recruited some teachers, we call them neighborhood volunteer teachers. These are young people in various communities who volunteer to use this web app to teach, to bridge the gap. Those people who could not access internet, who could not access good phones, who don't have access to laptop. These teachers are the one visiting them in the community to make sure they are teaching them, and we have recorded massive success in different communities in Lagos.
Understanding that it's easier to access a mobile device than a laptop, the team deliberately designs the web app for mobile devices with an option to download the materials for offline use.
Initially, it was launched as an e-library so that students who log onto the platform can come in, look for educational materials of their choice, and then download them for offline use. But in a bid for us to offer more to the students who were constantly interacting with the platform, we decided to add the feature whereby they could take mock tests. Now, on one click, these students get access and then they're able to test what they've learned. So far, we've been working on how we're going to improve the platform so that we can make it more robust for these students to test their knowledge and keep improving themselves while they are currently at home.
As clamors increase for learning institutions to reopen, the federal government has rolled out guidelines that must be met by each school before that can happen. However, no set date has been released for students to return to schools, and applications like the Continuous Learning Platform can help bridge the gap for the students as well as prepare them for the post-COVID-19 era that will be driven by technological innovations.
A human-like robot designed to look and act like a female clerk has started providing services to the public at a government office in Siberia. The humanoid with long blonde hair and brown eyes is serving customers in Perm, a city 680 miles east of Moscow. So far, it only helps with issuing certificates to testify that people have a clean criminal record and no record of drug use, documents required in Russia to complete various legal transactions.
Его задачей является обслуживание посетителей.
This project is aimed at making the majority of routine tasks of a document processing center worker automatic to increase the quality of the services and, of course, efficiency. The robots are immune to such a problem as a human factor. They don't need a break or rest, they won't go on vacation, and will always work in a good mood.
Безусловно, эффективности, поскольку у роботов нет проблем человеческого фактора, им не нужен перерыв, им не нужен отдых. Они не уйдут в отпуск и всегда будут работать в приподнятом настроении.
The company behind the project, Promobot, said the robot has been designed to look like an average Russian woman. Its facial features were generated by artificial intelligence based on analyzing the appearance of several thousand females.
Он обладает активными механизмами, которые приводятся в
It
движение.
has active mechanics which use several motors for operation. In one phase, there are more than 40 of those, which is necessary to copy human emotions in full. This robot also has a set of microphones for speech recognition, a camera for facial recognition, and a screen to show what is going on.
Он, например, сосканировал документ, он продемонстрировал и так далее.
According to Promobot, the robot, which wears the registry office uniform of white shirt and brown waistcoat, can recreate more than 600 human facial expressions by moving its eyes, eyebrows, and lips, and other mechanical muscles covered with artificial skin. The robot can ask and answer generic questions and is connected to a scanner and a printer. It also has access to a document database and fully replaces a registry office employee. A robot barista lends a helping hand to coffee lovers in Moscow. who want to abide by social distancing rules amidst the coronavirus outbreak. With its 2 robotic arms, the device can prepare various coffee drinks and milkshakes for park visitors who want to limit human contact. The park administrator says having a robot instead of a human barista serving drinks in crowded places can reduce the risk of infections.
There was a need to create conditions for people not to have contact with others because of the pandemic. So our directorship decided to create such a robot which will serve the guests, lift their mood, and give them tasty drinks.
The park, which opened to the public in 2017, is situated some 200 meters east of the Kremlin along the Moscow River.
I have not been anywhere for 3 months. I did not want to contact people for every little thing. It was really great to come here to this robot. It wished me a good day. It said, "Please take your drink." It is very cool. There are different flavors for me and everyone.
It was built on the former site of Rossiya Hotel, once the largest hotel in the world. Now it's considered to be one of Moscow's best places to visit. Tech tips on how your phone can be hacked. Many of us often see our phones as a safe haven where we can keep our personal information like text messages, emails, bank details, and even pictures. Some even keep their passwords saved on their mobiles, which is very wrong, as there is no device that can't be hacked. What are some of the ways your phone can be compromised? The easiest way for your phone to be breached is when a hacker gets a hold of it, even for a few minutes. They can simply install spy apps to record your phone calls, text messages, GPS location, and monitor your online activity to get the information they need. So be careful where you leave your phone unattended to. Another means is through unprotected Wi-Fi network. I know we all love free Wi-Fi, especially at restaurants and airports, but that also means you'll be voluntarily sharing your traffic with everyone around. Next time you want to connect to a free Wi-Fi, it'd be better if you do so with one that has a password and not one tagged free. Charging your phone via an unknown USB could also risk having your data transferred. Information like your device name, type, serial number, operating and file system, amongst others, could be used against you. Many times we're advised never to click directly on a link, especially from an unknown source. Hackers use phishing, a social engineering attack where they lure targets through emails, text messages, or via telephone to steal sensitive data from them. There are many ways hackers can tamper with your phone with some sophisticated systems and software. They can read your text messages, listen to your phone calls, and track your cell phone locations. So be careful of what you do with your phone and who you expose it to.
Coming up is my chat with Adekunle Ajiboye, CEO Agimatics. Stay with us. Adekunle, glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you, CFA. It's an honor and pleasure to be with you.
So let's start with this. How would you describe the effect of COVID in accelerating technology globally?
Well, as we can see, it impacted healthcare immediately because a lot of services were delivered by telehealth. Telehealth had been struggling even in developed economies, but COVID accelerated the embracing of telehealth big time. Also, e-banking also was impacted immediately. But for a country like Nigeria, it was a challenge because the funds had to have been received electronically for you to disburse it electronically. So if 70-80% of our people did not receive funds electronically, and they weren't able to go and make the deposits on the ATM or in the bank, then it impacted cash flow. As a matter of fact, recent statistics from NIBS have said that there was about a 40% drop in e-transactions over the past quarter due to the COVID. But yes, it impacted, moving a lot of things onto electronic platforms.
But yeah, so if you look at the whole situation, you would say to yourself, okay, maybe it's been awesome for tech giants, you know. But for a country like Nigeria, what would be your assessment?
Well, apart from talking about, we are aware of the usual infrastructure challenge, leadership issues, but the creativity is bubbling to the top in Nigeria. Despite the challenges, the situation, the limitations, our youths, our techies, which you are aware of, you know them, they are coming up, they are being creative in every way. So there's hope, but there's a lot that needs to be done to support and allow this creativity to turn into tangible results for all stakeholders.
So as an expert, what are some of the things that you think we should start doing today?
Wow. You know, so if we look at it from different angles, the private sector is doing the best it can within its ambient. And that's where I may speak about. We as the private sector cannot improve infrastructure. That's the role of the government. But we can support our talent. We can help nurture, you know, despite the limited challenges that we have. Okay, I'll give a good example. In the US and Canada, because of COVID, a lot of internship opportunities that students would normally have were canceled by the companies because they didn't know what was happening. There was uncertainty. Now, Agimatics normally takes internship every year. This year, we were also about to scrap the internship position, but guess what? One of the universities in the US decided to pay for their students to be interns with us for 12 weeks. Amazing. Now, can we get something like that in Nigeria? So, I mean, as an expert, what do I have to say? I can speak of technology. I can speak of entrepreneurship. I can speak of innovation. All those are trying to thrive in the country. We just have to give more room. Look, we had Idea Hub. It went away because of a lot of politics and stakeholder handling. You know, so what can we do in terms of technology, in terms of talent? We're there, but the enabling environment needs to be improved.
But I hear you about, you know, speaking more for the private sector where you belong. But if you would have to advise the policy side, what would you say to prepare Nigeria for a post-COVID world?
So here's the thing. When we talk of policy, we talk of government. And then I ask you which government, the federal, executive, legislative, or judiciary, the state, the local government, or the local council. Nigeria has never lacked advice or talent or policies. I grew up hearing of Vision 2000, then it moved to 2020. The policies are there. The talent that can advise those in leadership positions are there. There's nothing new we can add. It's all there. We have enough policy, enough guidelines, enough insight, enough talented people that can provide direction. So we just need to listen to it.
Okay, so from your opinion, I mean, one of the things I know about you is that you're passionate about Nigeria. What are some of the ways you think that we can really harness some of these creative talents that you said we have?
One, the major things is the enabling environment. What will enable the environment to thrive and accommodate innovation? The basic things need to be in place. Infrastructure needs to be in place. When I'm talking of infrastructure, I'm talking of electronic platform ready enabling infrastructure. When a developer doesn't have to worry about power. So I've got two guys working out of Nigeria for us in developing, and it will say, I have to go somewhere that I need to have light for me to be able to finish. Oh boy, this thing shouldn't take you this long. He said, power outage. They don't need to have to worry about that. Internet, they don't need to have to worry about that. If those basics are there, okay, I can imagine what's happened in the past 3 or 4 months with a lot of electronic meetings and all of that. There were plus for that. Most of my meetings with Nigeria on a daily basis are now on Zoom. You know, we're sending documents by WhatsApp. Good, amazing. But can everybody come online to do those meetings? The enabling environment has to be there. If the environment is there, there will be the ecosystem, the stakeholders will thrive. We as a private can do that. It has to be done by the people that have the resources in power in government.
But are there industries that you would place a big bet on in a post-COVID world?
Oh, yeah, sure. I will place my bet immediately on platforms, solutions that can increase and bring those who are social services excluded and financial services excluded. It became more obvious during COVID that a majority of Nigerians are financial services excluded and social services excluded. For that reason, even the palliatives, though half-baked, that government intended to disburse, could not be disbursed because they could not access, they did not know who these people were or where they were. So for Nigeria and other low-resource countries, a major chunk of the population are excluded from financial services and social services. Any platform, any solution that can bring those folks in, have them, I place my bets on.
I mean, some of the things you just mentioned now sound so easy. But why do you think it becomes difficult when we want to drive change with technology?
In Nigeria?
Yes, in Nigeria, of course, in Nigeria.
So you said yourself, the change with technology is change management. It's change management. There's no doubt that Nigerians embrace technology. Are we developers? Are we providers? Are we solution? That's the question. Why is it a challenge? Is it our nature? I'm not sure. It's the demographics, the characteristics for Nigerians is similar to almost everyone in sub-Saharan Africa. I just think that it needs to be made more available for the change to take place.
So finally, what would be your advice generally on how we can make the most of technology and reposition Nigeria post-COVID?
Well, I'm sure this is something that everybody's thinking about. And I think once again, it goes to the enabling environment. There's no doubt that the skill set is there. There's no doubt that the talent is there. We just need to have an environment that allows you to thrive.
Thank you very much, Adekunle. Wish you all the best. And stay safe.
Thank you. You too. I don't see your mind.
Cheers.
All right.
That was Adekunle Ajiboye, CEO at Agimatics, who is of the opinion that Nigeria needs to do a lot more to harness the potentials of local talent. And one of the ways of achieving this is by improving infrastructure and also supporting the ecosystem with the right kind of policies. One thing is clear, the world will never be the same again post-COVID pandemic. The forward-looking nations are already thinking of positioning to stay ahead of the game. This is exactly how Nigeria as a country should be thinking. We've come to the end of the show, but it doesn't end here. The conversation continues online. We are Tech Trends TV on social media. Also watch the entire show on the Channels TV YouTube page or cfablog.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.